Everyone, welcome back to my channel. Rush the Truth, bringing you the truth as much as I can when I can. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, like, comment, share, hit the bell, receive notifications of whenever I do drop a new video. And of course, follow me on Instagram. I can't stress it enough at this point in time right now. YouTube videos, I can only manage one, maybe two a week. But anyway, so we are past 100 days of Trump, and I don't know about you, but I will continue to say that I am so thankful to have Trump back in office, and even more thankful that he has learned from his past presidency, his first term in office. And of course, now we are getting to see a lot more of what the people should have been receiving all along. And yes, it might be ugly to some. To others, it's a breath of fresh air, and we understand what the end term goal is to be, right? So I want to bring this video. I say all of that to bring this video to your attention, and it's just something that I came across earlier, and I felt like, hey, why not, right? So a lot of liberals, in the beginning, when Trump stated that he was running for office, the second time, swore that they were going to leave the U.S. because they felt like he was a fascist, that he was a dictator, that he was Hitler, like believing all of the lies from the liberal media. And of course, none of that is true, but hey, they gotta get your feelings, all right? They gotta get control of your feelings, right? So, a lot of celebrities also decided that they were going to move, and we're just like, hey, you know what, go ahead, we don't care, because you don't relate to us in any way, shape, or form. You by no comparison understand what it is to live like us. Sure, you might have started out that way before you hit stardom, but you've lost touch with that reality, right? And of course, there's a bunch of other stuff in between. They've been, led to believe, they've been groomed to believe, so on and so forth. So whatever. So, of course, many of them, like Rosie O'Donnell, fled the U.S. after Trump won the second term. All right? Great. Proud of you, type of thing. Well, Rosie O'Donnell, apparently she's not welcomed in Ireland, but hey, that's a personal problem. But regardless, there are other non-celebrities who have all decided to, hey, you know what? We're done with America. They don't treat their citizens right. We hate that they're doing this to us, that this is that, and this. Hey, okay, sure, you do you, boo-boo, okay? You do you. We don't care. But, hey, listen, while you are on your way out, do us all this grand favor. Renounce your citizenship. I could care less about you feeling like you made a mistake later, honestly. You know what you could do? You can reapply later on. But in my opinion, if you flee now, like it's like you can't. Things change, all right? Things change, and to flee at a time when we have the best president of our lifetime, and I'm not the only one who believes that. There are many others who believe the same thing, that we are living in history, in a very historical moment, by having Trump as our president, not once, but twice. And to see the amount of corruption that has been unveiled, to see the amount of order that is being restored is phenomenal. But I'm not going to keep going. I'm going to show you this video. I'm not going to play the whole video. It's about 4 minutes long, but you can go visit her TikTok. She has multiple videos. Apparently that's her, that's her going theme right now, is, life after moving out of the U.S. And of course you can read through her comments, but without further ado, I'm going to show you.
So we left the U.S. about 3 weeks ago and are temporarily staying in Albania. And this is a question I've gotten a lot. Why did we leave the U.S.? And it's a question that has a lot of answers. I think the best starting place is Uvalde. That was a time where after that happened, I cried for a week for those families, and I cried because I realized that we couldn't stay here forever. We were gonna have to figure something out, because we couldn't raise our kids in this environment where we would be terrified to send them to school, that we could send them to school and never see them again. We could, like, our daughters would have to do shooter drills, and we didn't want that. We didn't want them to live life. We didn't want them to know that fear. So we knew.
The response to this is, I mean, after a while, you're going to realize what side of the aisle she's on. But in regards to school shootings, as horrible, yes, as they are, down to the politics of it, your politics chose to not arm the teachers, to not place armed retired service members or police. You decided to make it an easy target because of your political beliefs. And there's other things to go into that we could go down a rabbit hole with MK Ultra and such. But ideally, it's your politics that played a role in that as well. And not only that, but you know what? You also have homeschooling as an option. You don't want your children to have to endure shooter drills. Homeschool. Homeschooling provides a better education than public education anyway. But these are the ones who are going to stay asleep. They'll never wake up. They're never going to realize and admit that their politics play a role in what their children are having to endure. They're never going to wake up and realize it. And some of them do, and then they admit that they were wrong and that they had it wrong all along and so on and so forth. But I mean, stuff changes, stuff happens. There are things, tragic events that happen in other countries as well. And I don't know that much about Albania, but from what I've read from other comments, she's not in the. It's not like she made an A+ choice in her country to flee to. But let's continue.
Eventually, we were gonna have to figure something out. Then Roe v. Wade happened, and that was another time where it was like we really want to leave, but we just couldn't. We couldn't financially do anything about it either one of those times, even though we desperately wanted to. And so we did what we could. My husband applied for jobs within the company he was working with in California, and he got one. So we were able to move ourselves to California, and that felt like the next safest thing we could do, because we had lived in Texas our entire lives. Then
wait.
in November,
moving from Texas to California, red state to a blue state, and you felt safer. Oh my gosh.
Happened. And like most women, I woke up at, it was about 3 or 4 a.m. and I just knew, even though I had all these big hopes, and I kept telling myself, no, we're gonna be fine, we're gonna be fine. I just knew. I didn't even really have to. I checked my phone anyway, but I didn't have to, because I knew what had happened. And I also knew we were gonna have to leave. We are Hispanic. I'm a woman. My daughters are both women. They will be women. And we have to think about their futures. We have to think about our future.
Okay, this music is ridiculous. It's You're supposed to make me feel sorry for you, but en contraire. This she's right here. She's trying to make it identity politics as well. I'm Hispanic. I'm a female. Listen, boo-boo. Trump overwhelmingly won the Hispanic population. Okay, the Hispanic vote. Many Hispanics love the fact that Trump is in office. There was even a video out there of an illegal, okay? He did an interview and they asked him, if you could vote, who would you vote for? And he said Trump. And they said, why? Because my kids will be safer. That is literally what that man said. An illegal, okay? He already knew what was up. Yet you are going to get out here and spew all of this identity politics, all of the typical nonsense from the left about Trump being racist, the Republican Party being racist. the lies that center around abortion and Roe versus Wade and the Supreme Court ruling to overturn it, that did not end abortion. That just led it back to the states. Okay, got big government out of it. But here you are with 2 children, which I mind you, of course, like this is another thing with liberals. They will determine a female when they deem that they should determine what a female is or what a woman is. She just said that she has 2 daughters. But yet you are standing with the party who can't even tell you what a girl is or what a woman is. Make it make sense. She can't. So, like I said, you can go check out her video. It's on TikTok. It's Maria and Andre Ring, whatever. I'll try to put the link in the bio. And it just is literally, she says, escaping the U.S. as if she was being held captive, trying to make it dramatic, trying to pull at your heartstrings, trying to have you sympathize with her and her family on why they fled. Like literally, how does it make sense that, okay, your husband found a job within the company that just moved you to another state, from Texas to California, and we all see the craziness that's going on in California, but you were too blind to notice how better off your family is in a red state versus a blue state. Uvalde, you just named one thing, but you don't come out here and you don't speak about the George Floyd riots that happened during COVID, where black on black crime was ridiculous. Like they burned down local businesses, all for a drug addict, convicted felon who overdosed. You don't want to talk about that. And here you are with your camera set up, your eyes looking like baby doll eyes, got the music playing. Manipulation, folks. Manipulation. And I want to bring this to your attention as well. And then I'm going to close this video because I feel like it also needs to be addressed. And that is this illegal who got caught, he turned himself in New York for SAing a deceased body on the subway. If you haven't heard it already, you're going to hear it today. And again, she's right here talking about how the U.S. is the problem, but really what it is that's the problem is your political views and how you vote. New York is a blue state, heavily infested with crime. You voted for these policies that you were so-called fleeing from. Now, she says that where they are now is just a stop in the road. You know, there's other places that they've been to. Again, you can go visit her TikTok and, follow her journey with there, if you will. But I want to present this story to you. And you let me know what you think in the comments. I've seen it on several. I've seen it covered in the news in certain news outlets, but I don't think it's getting the attention that it should. Because, folks, these liberals, right, they're right here upset about all of these illegals being deported, trying to plead their case for saying, oh, they're trying to come and make a better life. Not all of them. No, not all of them. These are demons that they are allowing in here. And these people know that they are demonic. They were brought up this way. They were brought up learning they were brought up on these motives. This is what they were brought up to do. They don't know anything else. But hold on, she's talking about, oh, I'm Hispanic. Listen, I don't care. I'm part Hispanic. There are several other Hispanics, but they do not share your views. And again, Trump won overwhelmingly. But let me get straight to the story, and then I'll close it out.
Police are looking for a man behind a vile attack on a subway in Lower Manhattan. And a warning here, some of the details you are about to hear are extremely disturbing. Law enforcement sources with direct knowledge of the case say this man performed sex acts on another man who died on an R train. NYPD officers responded to reports of a body on that train at the Whitehall subway station just after midnight.
Okay, so this is an older one, but the man has since been caught. Let me try to find you that article. So yeah, it's a very graphic and is disgusting. But the Department of Homeland Security slams New York Times. See, this is how they're covering for him, right? So that same lady who was right there talking about her fleeing from the United States to other countries and other people who were, high-fiving, celebrating with her. These are the policies that you all stand here and you vote for, and then you flee because you say it gets too bad and it gets ridiculous, and then even more you start to believe the lies from the left stream from the left stream media. Again, New York Times right here, they refuse to mention that the suspect who allegedly, have to say it for YouTube and desecrated this man's corpse. They left it out that he was an illegal. Why? All right. So Felix Rojas has an ICE detainer for his arrest after his alleged heinous crime on a New York City subway. This man he knew exactly what he was doing. So I'm not going to read the full article for you. You can go out and find it for yourselves. But this is the man right here. This is the security footage that they caught of him as he was leaving the subway. Mind you, people are coming on and off the subway. Okay. They're slamming the New York Times. This is what the left stream media does. They hide the truth from you, and they get people like that lady and her family to believe the lies and to feed them all the wrong information on purpose, and then she leaves. But hey, you know what? At the same time, there's accountability, because I'm pretty sure she got into some debates with some people on some things, but she just chose to remain on the left, right? So I'd suggest you go check out this story. And there's other stories here out there where the media are, they're siding with illegals and the criminals, the criminal activity, right? So her party is what's responsible, yet she believes that Trump and conservatives and the American way of life is the problem. But like I said, listen, you do you, boo-boo. You can go leave. I don't care. We don't care. That's up to you. Nobody's going to hold you hostage. As she claims to show, like, fleeing the U.S. as if she had to, smuggle them, try to go through, like, some Harriet Tubman style stuff. Like, your tail was able to just apply for, your husband was able to apply for another job and relocate your family. You were able to get your passports, get your children, pets, whatever, and connect flights. You did not need to try to hide it. It wasn't like during the Holocaust. You see how they're trying to make those parallels? But again, yeah, so you see how they were trying to make those parallels, trying to make it sound like it was just like the most horrendous thing ever, and it doesn't even compare. There's no comparison to it. But again, hey, you have the freedom to go to any country that you like. If they take you, they accept you. And again, she went through it what? The legal way. She didn't come through illegally. She didn't go through all those other countries that she connected through. She didn't go through them illegally. She went about what? Through a process. A process that I guarantee she is against. Why? Because she did highlight, well, I'm Hispanic. As if Hispanics are the only ones who are here illegally. No. You're the only one being racist in that retrospect, honey. There are many others who are not Hispanic who are being deported. But whatever. You know what? I can't lead a horse to water. But anyway, I appreciate you guys stopping in again. Please continue to show up, like, share, subscribe, comment, hit the bell, receive notifications. Hit me up on Instagram. Follow me on Instagram. Follow me here too, of course. But hey, as always, keep God first, stay prayed up, and I'll talk to you all on the next one.